Well, I'm going to tell you a kind of personal story regarding what I've been doing with my life for like the last, say, couple years. Now, some of you might know at this point that I have my own problems, Like, all I had to realize is that I keep fighting this whole war for a really long time about my own problems and other sorts of problems. And like the main point of this is that what I've been doing lately for like the last couple of years is that I've been fighting an enemy who basically only resulted in me getting more myself even more hurt, which is basically myself. Now, all it took me to realize personally is that in order to basically sort out these problems, these sort of you know, you know problems I got is basically you know because I was fighting the wrong enemy. And that was basically myself. Now, I know this might be come unprepared or anything. I'm not particularly well versed in speeches or motivational speeches or whatever. Like I used to in 2020 or something, right? After I was arrested. But the whole point is that all this blaming games, all this sort of like sort of blame games about, oh, what is my job sucks, capitalism sucks, fascism sucks, all this sucks kind of shit doesn't lead anywhere. And all I was basically doing, pardon the noise of the construction working in the background, because apparently there's an annoying bastard just sort of making reformations near my house. But anyway, um, the whole problem with this is that I was creating myself as an enemy when I could create myself as an ally. Now, it's all a question of whether I wanted to make changes or not, especially on terms of my problems with ludopathy or my problems with weight loss, whatever that is, or my problems with even my trans identity. It's sort of anything like that. But I was considering myself as the enemy in a wrong way because all this time I could counter myself as an ally. That might sound a little bit crazy, I know. This ain't no cuckoo crazy kind of shit that you might hear from PUA tier morons that sell you for $5 any tips of dad advice, right? This is like basic shit I should probably put out for free anyways. And the point is, um, however, you know, you got all these problems for yourself, but then again, what do you got yourself to blame other than yourself, really? You know? I mean, you could blame that your job sucks. You could blame that your landlord sucks. You could basically complain that capitalism or fascism, the status quo, is a piece of shit that's responsible for the shit. But with all the blame game, well, all that sort of blame game that you're doing to yourself, you gotta consider that you're creating yourself an enemy in this endless war against yourself. And that's the whole problem here. That's the whole jigamaroo of the whole situation. That's what drops you cuckoo. You know? So, you know, I know capitalism sucks. Any regular 9 to 5 job sucks. Fascism sucks. It blows ass. It's shit. It's a load of fucking diarrhea. But, I mean, You got worse problems with yourself that you can easily solve by yourself by just taking care of yourself. And that's the whole point here. And there's no external force who's causing you to cause your own problems that you're causing yourself. There's no capitalism. There's no fascism. There's no. I know I wrote this in this manifesto that basically our enemy is capitalism and fascism, of course, and we got to use the tools they give us to fight against it. But the best tool that these systems that are easily giving to us is basically ourselves. Because ourselves, we are molded and created within the system that's created by capitalism and fascism in a way that we are molded as a certain personality to be conditioned to be mediocre ourselves. And that's the whole point here. You don't need to blame others for your own shit. You need to blame on yourself for falling for their game. And that's why you can't count yourself as an ally. And that's the whole rule of the whole thing. It's easy to get carried away with all the, antagonistic crap about politics or drama, whatever that is, right? Like the external forces. But you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta look after yourself first. And then maybe you'll have the enough power to fight against these systems that are oppressing you. And that's the whole point of it, you know? What's stopping you from growing yourself the tools in order to do these goals? Even if it's not like fighting, an arbitrary system like capitalism or fascism. You still got a long road to do in order to grow yourself your own shit, And you keep blaming, but that's not going to contribute anything. If you grow yourself your own sort of materials in order to work this around, you'll feel better about yourself even more. You have more of the energy to be able to fight back against these bigger problems. And the whole gist of this is that you gotta understand how to make small steps before you go further and reach the endless goal. And that's the whole gist of it. There's nothing much else to it. You call blaming your own problems that you causing yourself about literally anything isn't going to do anything. What I usually like to do is compromise myself to commit myself and better myself. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes. It's not, nothing is stopping you. You just want it or not. You just basically want to do it or not. You just want to be a better person or not. And that's what I do. I used to be this big time fascist or whatever, right? But I wanted to change that. I wanted to change that as well. So I am partaking myself in LGBT activism. I am partaking myself in worker protests. I am partaking myself in activism. All that sort of stuff that, makes me neither look after others and honestly help the cause that I hurt so much in the past. But also, I was helping myself. Being clean, building some empathy, building a better myself. You'll do the same. If you don't want to do it, and this especially comes for the people who want to escape from the full right or anything similar, it's as easy as, you just want to do it or not. That's the key difference when you have to consider people who escape from the far right and people who don't, right? A Nazi who just wants to stop being a Nazi makes a whole difference from someone who doesn't want to stop being a Nazi. And that's the whole key difference. I'm probably the former rather than the latter. And that's what makes the whole difference. What makes the whole difference from someone who doesn't want to bother saving money or losing weight or stop playing fucking slot machines. The whole difference from that to wanted to change something about it is important. It's really fucking important. And you can do it. Yes. You do have the power to be able to do it. You have the power within yourself. You are valid. Either whether you're white, black, Asian, gay, lesbian, bi, trans, cis, doesn't matter. You have the ability to do it. Now the whole difference is between whether you want to do it or not. And if you want to do it, if you want to change into a better yourself, you count yourself as an ally. You'll count yourself as an ally, you have the best ally with yourself. Because that's what counts. And if you need help on that, there's plenty of help as well. You just need to look into the right places. Like I ended up doing lately in this last couple of years. But the first step is to want to do it. The first step is wanting to make the change. The first step is wanting to make this first step, the small baby steps into becoming a better person. And that's what makes a whole difference. It's important to know this. The fight, we dream of utopias. We dream of big time communist or anarcho-communist utopias or whatever. But those are goals that are so far away they look unreachable. Start small, okay? You gotta start by wanting to know if you want to change yourself for the better or not. And if you want to change yourself for the better, that's the first step for a better world. And, that's the cookie that crumbles, I don't really wish to keep this kind of tone on, videos, or, basically like this. This is a one-off video that I decided to put out because of a compromise I did to myself and someone I know. This is pretty much private, but it relates to my self-help and self-improvement road that I've been overtaking for the last couple of years since I don't know, the dawn of COVID. But this is not gonna be like this for all the time unless there's circumstance that happens every once in a while. I got a couple of videos in the works. Stay tuned for that. And take care of yourselves. Be good.